But I do believe that there's a step beyond that. And that's what Gandhi and King and the great nonviolent social change advocates understood. And that is that you fight fire with fire. If somebody's going to burn the Quran on 9/11, then you want to be doing something very visual on 9/11 between Jews, Muslims, and Christians.
Okay.
You want to be.
You want to fire with fire. You don't mean like burn a Bible because they're burning a Quran, do you?
I'm talking about fighting fire with fire from a nonviolent point of view.
Right.
So, and the fire is not violence. The fire is visuals. The fire is symbols and the appeal to emotion. These are all things that are very difficult for intellectuals and left-wing people, but they're very, very important.
Why are they difficult for left-wing people?
Because they like to think that they're rational, but nobody's rational. Rationality is something we aspire to and we occasionally reach, but it's not something that anybody lives by day and night. We're all non-rational. We're all driven by symbols. We just have different symbols. You know, when I see a beautiful old academic campus, I start to drool a little. You know, I'm very attached to Ivy League universities. I'm very attached to books. When I see a big library, I go numb a little. I want to be there. Why? You know, because that I'm attached to it. Just like other people are attached to Britney Spears. Okay, so this is who we are. This is who academics are. And to deny those emotions this is a big part of my work and my writings. Denying emotions is very dangerous because then you leave emotions to extremists. And that's a very bad idea. We're all driven by emotions, and it's important to exercise the positive emotions, the emotions of trust, the emotions of hope, the emotions of inspiration. You can't, you need a John Kennedy, and you need a Bobby Kennedy, and you need a Ted Kennedy to counteract a Joe McCarthy. You need somebody inspiring, somebody who has a vision of an America that you can believe in, not just some sort of rational tract.
And I have to add, you mentioned the Kennedys, and during the campaign there was a lot of talk of President Obama carrying their torch.
Yeah.
Do you think he has been?
That's a good question. I think he did in the campaign, and I think his Harvard education is getting in his way.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
Because he's forgotten emotions. He's forgotten inspiration. He's up there with all these Harvard economists, figuring out all these complicated things about the economy, and he's not inspiring people enough. And he doesn't have people in his cabinet that are inspirational enough. Larry Summers is not an inspirational figure. He doesn't inspire hope in a lot of people, particularly based on, well, whatever. I'm not gonna go into some sort of trashing of Larry Summers. I just think that he can do better in terms of inspirational figures on the economy, on many things. And he himself needs to be more inspirational and remember that that's how he got into office. And that's how you give people hope. Hope is, and the emotions of hope are the greatest antidote to the emotions of fear. And when people burn books, it's because they're afraid of something. They're terrified. And somebody capitalizes on that and gets them to do ridiculous things. So when it comes to the mosque and it comes to this particular event, it's the same issue. People are driven by fear, and they need to be driven by hope. And you need to devise clever ways in which you can inspire. So President Obama needs to do that. I don't think, by the way, he should be involved at all in the controversy. I think, frankly, Imam Rauf and many others, Muslims and Jews and others, have to become more creative in moving this forward. And we don't know what's going to play itself out. It may be that they've lost public opinion, and public opinion is turning against the mosque, which would be really unfortunate. We'll have to see what New Yorkers in the end decide.